Hey there, welcome back to Minifig Monday. I was looking through my catalog of these videos, recently, and I realized I never did a video on this version of Boba Fett. This is the Book of Boba Fett, if that makes sense. And this is a cool figure. It's definitely my least favorite Boba Fett that I have. I have 5 versions now, which is pretty sweet, I think. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying that's the number of the figures I have. But um, I got this from the Slave 1 Microfighter. I'll show a little bit of it here. We did a video on that set as well. It's a pretty amazing little set, especially for the price. Yeah, let's give a 360 of the Book of Boba Fett here. He's a pretty cool figure. The helmet and the jetpack are carryovers from the regular Boba Fett's in terms of the coloring of the sand green on them. I did add an antenna to this one because in the set he doesn't come with it, which makes sense given the cockpit's shaping. It makes sense if you have the set. You know what I'm talking about. But honestly, I don't love this figure. I like it. I definitely think they could have done a little bit better on it. And particularly with the helmet. I'm gonna start with that really briefly. So I think the helmet in this case is the visor is just too dark. It's a black onto dark red, and that's normal Boba Fett design. But with past versions, I guess, it's been much clearer, I guess, and I don't know if it's just me. It's probably just me, but this one looks a lot like darker. It looks a lot harder to tell that he has a visor on, whereas the brand new Boba Fett of 2023, you can see this. Look at this. You can see the visor clearly, much more. And maybe that's a new thing for this figure. I think maybe it is because the red is a little bit different. It's like sparkling red. It's lighter, but it's still dark red, if that makes sense. So that visor shows up better. I don't know. That just bothers me for this figure. I think it's on all of the figures of this version of Boba Fett. But you can get this version in the Slave 1 Microfighter and the Boba Fett's Palace, the Boba Fett Starship, the $40 set. There's a decent amount of sets you can get this version in. I just think it's not as good as it could have been. I think he definitely should have had a skirt piece or like a fabric piece on the top. Something that would have elevated this one. Because it just feels too basic. I don't know. But it is very nicely designed. He is holding the gun. That is not a new piece. That is a existing gun piece and a lightsaber hilt. This design was actually from the UCS Slave 1, which is pretty cool, I think. It's kind of nice that they decided to carry that over into, every Boba Fett minifig. But that's his accessory. It's nothing special. But what is special is the amount of detailing here, which is pretty sweet. There is so much printing. Unfortunately, another problem with this figure for me is the quality issues. So this one has arm printing, which is fantastic. However, the printing is it's not as sharp as it could be. So they're printing yellow onto black, and that makes the yellow look dark, and it's not good. And it's the same thing on the other side, which I think is slightly worse because it has a symbol on it and it just looks washed out. It doesn't look clean. It looks too smudgy and dark. I don't know. It just bothers me. Again, with the new Boba Fett, you can see the printing is much sharper, much cleaner, much more professional. Whereas this one, it just feels off, like a lower quality. I don't know. And this is one of the only times that I've seen Lego's quality dip in a figure. Something similar with another figure is the 2021 Spider-Man. This figure has arm printing, yes, but the red is darker because it's being printed onto blue and it doesn't look the greatest. The red is not the same shade as the rest of him. So that's the problem with that figure. I went into it more detail with that figure, that video. And this figure is still great, but I do think the arm printing quality is not great. So that's kind of a bummer. But other than the quality control issues, I think this Boba Fett's pretty sweet. It is very different design-wise to the normal Boba Fett look. Like, it is very... It's changed. I think it looks great in the show. Tamora Morrison did a fantastic job. I just think it would have been nice to get his classic look. I understand why they didn't do that, though. The detailing here is pretty fantastic. Let me take that gun out of his hand. Just a minute. And you can see there's like cape, you know, there's a skirt printed. It should have been an actual piece. I think definitely the skirt should have been there for sure. But the printing is great. I've seen a lot of people complain that this figure is not accurate because of the sand green helmet and jetpack. It's supposed to be dark green. Maybe they tried that and it was just too dark. I feel like that would have been even darker and the visor would not be able to be seen at all, I feel like. It would be interesting to see what those pieces would look like in those colors, but it's not too big of a problem for me. He's got the cool belt, you know, he's got the breastplate, the display with the logo, and very cool knee pads, and the spiked shoes. It's very nice. Also, those legs are gunmetal gray, which is really cool, I think. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool figure. It's, again, definitely my least favorite Boba Fett that I have. It's just, if they fix the quality and if they fix the, I just think the quality is down, and if they added a skirt, it would have been pretty fantastic, I think. But the helmet hides a much older Boba Fett. We'll get to that in a minute. But here's the helmet. Again, the visor, it should be clear. It's just very faint. I don't know if you can see it, but if I turn the brightness up, maybe you can see it a little bit better. It's really hard to see for some reason, that visor. But there's the antenna as usual. There's the printing is slightly different on this one. It's much newer looking, obviously, because he repainted this armor in The Mandalorian, so that makes sense. And the old Boba Fett face is great. It looks so much like Tamora Morrison. Very, very recognizable with all the scarring and the older wrinkles, and it looks great. That's probably my favorite part of this figure is the head. I just think it looks so solid. There is no alternate face, but there is an alternate head printing showing the back of his head scars, which is pretty cool. And I do need to take this figure off screen briefly because there is printing. There's actually more to see. I'm actually really surprised I didn't do a Minifig Monday on this figure because it's Boba Fett, but here is the back printing. It's very nice. It continues. I find it very funny. It's kind of funny that LEGO prints this stuff even though you're never going to see it because this jetpack piece covers it 95% of the time. So it is a little bit, you know, wasted, I guess, but it is very nice and it's still there. More, you know, cape detailing, more the back of his armor, and then just more wrinkles and a little bit of the belt. It's very nice. But let me put this guy back together. I still think this is a great figure. I just think it could have been a little bit better. It's not nearly as iconic as the original suit version. I just think I mean, probably over time, I say this Boba Fett outfit will definitely, you know, become iconic, but I think for now it just needs to grow a little more. The show, I liked the show. I didn't love it, but I found it pretty enjoyable for the most part. And yeah, this figure is really nice. I almost think this version of Boba Fett works even more without his helmet. I think this figure looks better without it, honestly. But that's my opinion. But yeah, it's a cool figure. I like it. It's definitely unique with all the black coloring for the suit. I think it's very cool. And it's cool because this is like a Mandalorian / Book of Boba Fett look for him. So it's pretty cool, bridging two different series. If you want to get this figure, the cheapest way again is the microfighter. You can get him in the $40 slave one, whichever floats your boat. And I think this is one of the cooler designs for sure, along with the white Super Commando look. That one, I wish I had that figure. If I can get that one someday, I'll definitely get it. But this one's cool. I like it. I definitely like it. It's not the worst, but it's definitely my least favorite. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like this Boba Fett? Do you like the, Return of the Jedi one, or the white armor one, or the original design better? I used to have the 2006 version. Sadly, I traded that away for some reason, and now I don't have it anymore. But you know what? That's fine. I like the new version anyway. Much better. So, yeah, that's the book of Boba Fett version of him. Let me know what you think. Do you have this one? Do you like it? What do you think of the show? Do you like it or not? And which Boba Fett minifig is your favorite? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize if this video was late. Again, I forgot to do it. I don't know why. Just happened. But let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you later. Have a great day.